Okay, let's read this. Dear God, hold my son in your hands, both of my sons. Protect him wherever he goes, even when I cannot be there. Give him wisdom to choose what is right over what is easy. Fill his heart with kindness, courage, and compassion. Guard him from fear and negative influences. Help him stay strong through every challenge and setback. Surround him with honest friends and caring people. Guide his steps towards a life filled with purpose and hope. Remind him every day that he is deeply loved by you and by his family. Amen. It's so hard to have teens this age. Either they're rebellious, either they're good in society, or they're bad. I just found out that there are a lot of teenagers right now, only 18, 19, who knows how to scam people, who borrows money, and who don't pay, lie, cheat. And sometimes our own kids are victims. Even us ourselves are victims to these lying people. But tonight, you and me, my dear fellow Christians, we are going to forgive. It's just money. We can earn that back because God gave us that money. It's just borrow. And the thieves, the people who scam, who cheat, who steal, it is already their curse. It's their curse for ever needing to feel the lack of something. That's a curse, my dear friends. Okay? It's like whenever people hurt you or harm you, and they win when they do that, and you feel so sad. As a Christian, don't be sad. The important thing is you're not the one who's harming people. This falls under number 4. Guard him from, the fear and negative influences. There you go. Number 6, surround him with honest friends and caring people. That's hard to find. That's why I'm thinking regarding this generation A, or people who were born in 2008, 9, 2007. You're in trouble. 80% of your generation cheats, steal, destroys the earth. A lot of news right now, young people hurting other young people. It's a mess. And imagine what will happen for the next generation A and B, much worse. I think the last good generation was the 90s. Yeah. Because every time I look at people now, I see them and then I do some evaluation. Because that's my work as who used to work in HR. And then I see their age gap. And then I see that people during this early age, this early bracket professionals, they have greed in their heart. They love money so much to the extent that they sell their soul in in evil deeds. It's not good. But the important thing is you and me, my dear friends, we have to shed the light. If we can't help others, what we can do is not harm other people. Can't help, then don't hurt. You see? So, let's get a verse here. Oh, there. It says here, this is quite a mess. You can't read it. So, let's find a verse for you here. A Bible verse. There. Okay. And let's check my save messages. Junk cleaner. And let's talk about goodness. Here, this one. I'm happy I read the Bible. Not everybody, understands true Christian behavior, or the importance of everyday reading the Bible, because it changes you. You sincerely read it because it changes you. So here, Proverbs 22:22. Do not exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in the court, for the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life. So what does this mean? Personally, it means for me that what? When people are vulnerable, don't take advantage of them. You're really gonna pay. When God says they're gonna punish them, He will punish them. You know what are the punishment for people who cheat, steal, tell a lie, who take advantage of the vulnerable? Automatic, since they're living in sin, it's already their curse. Their heart is full of thirst and hunger for money. Even if they have money, they cannot feel the blessings in them. Even if they have all these things in life, they don't feel happiness. They feel the need to steal to get more. That's a curse, my dear friends. We don't want that. Okay? So have a wonderful hump day Wednesday. Remember the words of God.